8 class pets plus 1 squirrel divided by 1 dog equals chaos. And this is day 8. And here we are with Angel, the 5th grade corn snake. Sassafras. Isn't that an absolutely delicious sounding word? I simply love saying sassafras. Society also has succulent syllables, as does suspicious. The society I'm in is Mrs. Shaughnessy's 5th grade classroom. Suspicious is how outsiders sometimes react to me because I'm a snake. They say I'm sneaky and slithery and have slimy skin. Sneaky and slithery, yes, but stroke my skin and see, I'm not the slightest bit slimy. I have no fangs, no venom. I'm a simple orange and black and red corn snake, as long as a 5th grader is tall. Mrs. Shaughnessy's syllabus is history. Sassafras. History is such an interesting subject. Besides being an amusing thing for a snake to say, history. After classes, I'm somewhat solitary. A squirrel sometimes peeks in the window, but he slinks down again as soon as he spies me. Does he know he's too substantial? A mouthful for a snake my size to swallow. Once a week I sup, mostly on frozen mice supplied by Mrs. Shaughnessy. 6 out of 7 days I could be a safe associate to all the other class pets, including the albino rat who sometimes scurries past my doorway, fast, as though suspecting I would feast on him. It must be nice to have sensitive fingers to unfasten one's cell as one wishes and explore the school's silent halls. So, I was pleased one after-school afternoon when a ruckus spilled down the hall and into Mrs. Shaughnessy's classroom. My tongue tasted a shift in the atmosphere. The squirrel and rat burst onto the scene, along with a hamster, another excellent word, and a rabbit. From the hall came the sounds of a dog snarling. "Leave me alone! This has nothing to do with you!" While a parrot squawked, "Olé, olé, keep away!" In the classroom, the hamster saw me and squeaked, "Yikes! This is the 5th grade class where the snake lives! Snake equals danger!" The squirrel tried to skedaddle and shoved the rabbit, who stood betwixt him and the door, but the rabbit snapped, "The snake's locked up, but the dog isn't! You're safer in here!" So the squirrel hastened for higher ground instead. Up the window blinds he scurried, though they swayed beneath his weight, and smacked against the glass. From there it was a short distance to the long, narrow tube above the blackboard, where the historic maps are scrolled. The squirrel paced back and forth above medieval Europe and Renaissance cities. From the hallway, we caught occasional glimpses of the dog as he sprinted from classroom to classroom, trying to escape the parrot's beak. For some reason I could not discern, the dog was towing a fish tank on a pushcart, and from a slight distance a sociable but slow-moving voice called down the hall, "Hey guys, don't move so fast!" In Mrs. Shaughnessy's classroom, the nervous hamster ran around in circles and said, "That turtle carries her shell around with her for protection. Protection against dogs. Protection against snakes. Could we make some sort of shell for Twitch?" The rabbit was looking at the shelves where Mrs. Shaughnessy keeps my supplies, including the large, lidless snake transport box. The rabbit suggested, "Or a shell to cover the dog?" I deciphered the rabbit's scheme. I myself do not like dogs, who snip and snarl and sometimes eat a poor harmless snake who has no poison to protect himself. So I said, I could help. The squirrel had misstepped and was dangling from the cord that lowers the maps. "How?" he asked. "By eating me before the dog has a chance to?" I've had my frozen mouse this week," I said. "My stomach is satisfied till Tuesday." They all said, "Yuck." "Set me free," I said. "I'll distract the dog, while some of you push that snake transport box off the shelf. Timed just right, it should tip over on top of him and hold him safe from eating any of us. I would never be so discourteous as to snack on schoolmates, except perhaps on Tuesdays. Besides, history teaches us that we are stronger with allies." "Allies?" the rat repeated, "like fish in a school." "Trust," I encouraged them. The rat, fearless, steadfast rat, scurried to my enclosure and shoved the screen aside. Just then, the dog ran in, still attached to his cart and snarling, "Where's that less than worthless squirrel?" The squirrel tried to scamper back up the cord, unscrolling Renaissance cities, till Florence was on the floor. The blue and gold macaw flew into the classroom and squawked, "Senior dog's on the loose, so move your caboose. Everyone to your places, pretend you're at the races." No one told the bird her meter was off. I slithered onto the floor. Seeing me, the dog scuttled in reverse. If he could have scaled up his fish cart, I suspect he would have. He didn't notice the squirrel, the rat, and the hamster climb onto the shelf and begin shoving at the snake transport carton. The macaw saw and went to their support. The box moved closer and closer to the edge of the shelf. I hissed, posing a ferocious... I hissed, posing as ferocious, causing the dog to back up closer and closer to the overhang on the shelf. The rabbit thumped her back leg, and the vibration was the last assistance that suspended receptacle needed. Over the edge, snake transport tipped, showering pine shavings on all, but the fit and our timing were flawless. The box landed just so, to trap that dog, but not the cart inside. "Sassafras," I said. Next time, we will meet with Galileo and Newton.